Majora's Mask is certainly an interesting game. I've seen enough retrospectives and did you knows about Zelda to know that a lot of the things that make this game interesting and unique came about due to the strict time limitation and cartridge space limitation available at the time of development. This is why there are so many side quests and only 4 dungeons. This is also why the 3-day cycle exists, to extend the game time using minimal assets, and this is also why a lot of the assets from Ocarina of Time were reused. I think, considering the above, the developers who made this game really need to pat themselves on the back, as the game they created isn't just good, it stands up with the other 3D Zelda titles that have come before and since. It's really a testament to the people who made the game that several of the people who dropped by my stream stated that this is their favourite 3D Zelda title. This is not the case for myself, however. Although I fully accept that Majora's Mask is a fantastic game that is better than many other similar games in the genre, it fails hard on one particular aspect that is a bit of a deal breaker for me. Until Ocarina of Time, story never felt like something that was overly important to a Zelda game, but this all changed with Ocarina. Story-wise, Majora's Mask feels like a massive step in the wrong direction. The story is very two-dimensional, with very little explanation other than kill the big bad and get the mask back. Except at the beginning of the game, there is almost no exposition, and aside from several beautifully crafted side quests, there really is nothing more to the main story arc. This is a big problem for me because I feel that story is one of Zelda's biggest strengths, and in many respects the gameplay does not make up for the lack of story. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay is good. The combat is solid, though slow and occasionally dull, and notably not improved since Ocarina. The mechanics delivered by the transformation masks replace a lot of the items in Ocarina, with several other items and masks providing a very clever complement of abilities, which are used well by the core mechanics of the game to gate progression and provide secrets to find. I still feel that 3 item buttons is not enough, especially when considering the much higher number of items available in Majora's Mask compared to other Zelda games, mainly because of the masks. The side stories, especially surrounding the transformation masks, are fantastic, but I feel that the temples are disappointing, which is especially damning considering there are so few of them. I feel that they aren't particularly challenging, and the challenge they do pose only presents itself as, where on earth do I go next? The Stray Fairies side quests is nothing less than frustrating and dull, but thankfully mostly unnecessary to complete the game, and feels tacked on to get more playtime out of the dungeons. The graphics haven't dated particularly well, although it is not as noticeable as Ocarina, as the extra power provided by the expansion slot on the N64 allowed for improved graphics. Where I think the game really excels, and where I think it gets a lot of its love from, is its fantastic use of tone. The dark tone and the well fleshed out side characters go a long way to make the world feel real and the peril of the people in it relatable. Personally, I feel that the dark atmosphere is actually slightly overtuned overall, but I wouldn't change this, as this really is what makes Majora's Mask Majora's Mask. It is really just my own personal preference for a lighter game that colours this thought. I also feel that for a game with so many fleshed out characters, the main characters of Link, the Happy Mask Salesman, Skull Kid, and even Majora receive literally 0 character development throughout the game. There is a small amount of information provided that gives information as to why Skull Kid is the way that he is, but it's very minimal and not really enough. Overall, after writing this review, I think I can understand why this is my least favourite 3D Zelda title, as it lacks a lot of the things that I personally look for in a Zelda game. Having said that, Majora's Mask is a great game that creates a massive atmosphere that sucks the player in hook, line and sinker, makes it easy to truly care about the fate of the people in the world and want to do your best to save them. The gameplay is solid, and considering the resources available at the time, creates a densely packed, varied world which begs to be explored and saved. I applaud the minds that created this, the black sheep of the Zelda franchise, Majora's Mask.